What's going on, guys? So if you followed my channel for about a year, you probably realize that I've been using this VanTrue Dashcam in my vehicle, and it's worked out really well, especially down here in South Texas where it gets really hot inside of the vehicles. I only had one issue with a memory card error, swapped the memory card, reformatted it, and it worked out really good. That being said, they sent me a new camera to do some testing with. Okay, so what I have in front of me right now is the new VanTrue N2 Pro. The previous camera was the T2, which was very similar, except it had one camera and it had a capacitor as far as a battery. So this specific one has a battery built into it, but it is not a capacitor battery. That being said, it is a pretty cool little camera package. A big difference here is that this has two cameras on it, one facing the interior of the vehicle and one facing the exterior. So this is going to be really good for a lot of people who need that interior camera, whether you're going to be putting it in one of your children's vehicles to make sure they're not being distracted while driving, or if you're an Uber or a Lyft driver and you want to focus the camera towards the interior as well. This is going to come in really handy for those folks. Now, the T2 that I tested worked out really good for the period of time that I've been using it. The only issue that I had with it was a memory card issue, where essentially when I put the memory card in, it would say that there was a card error. I bought a new memory card, installed it, reformatted it, and everything seemed to be working really well. So this dash camera has two cameras on it, one facing out the front and one facing on the interior of the vehicle. Both of them are 1080p. The exterior facing camera is 170-degree field of view, and the interior facing camera is 140-degree field of view, which is really nice. Plus you can rotate it up to 80 degrees, which allows you to kind of point the camera in the direction you want it facing to. So something else that's really nice about this dash camera is that it uses 4 IR LEDs on the interior to kind of illuminate what's going on inside of the vehicle for that camera, and on the exterior it has really good low light camera vision. The reason why you don't want LEDs pointing out the front is because they'll reflect off of the glass and kind of wash out the picture. This also has what's called 24-hour motion detection system in parking mode, which essentially means that if it detects motion in front of it, it'll automatically start recording, which can come in really handy, especially if you live in an apartment complex or you leave your vehicle parked outside at night or in front of restaurants. That way, if there's any damage or anything, you'll kind of know, at least have a front view of what might have happened. Now let's take a look at what comes in the box. As you can see, the camera is really compact. It actually has a rotating camera here, which you can move up and down with 4 LEDs. The exterior of the camera has a motion detection, and it looks really nice. It also comes with a cigarette lighter cord, which will charge the internal battery, as well as the mount that goes on the windshield, and then you dock the camera into it, and a data cable that's used to transfer video files to a computer if you want to be able to review it. Plus, of course, all your instruction information and setup. Okay, so now we're in the vehicle with it. I'm going to give you a couple close-up shots of what the camera looks like so you can see what it's all about. On this side, it's the N2 Pro, all your buttons on the bottom, the front with the motion detection, as well as your little port here, which you'll be able to remove that cover and plug in your micro SD card, as well as your data connection ports. On the top is where it mounts to your windshield mount. That's also where it gets power. You can even power it without that if you just simply plug your cord directly into the side. For instance, if you're going to be using it for some reason outside of your vehicle. It has a little plastic film that's covering the screen right now, but it's a pretty high resolution screen. You can see it pretty well, and it's not overly bright at night. This little camera portion right here rotates up and down, so you can point it at a lower or higher angle depending on what type of vehicles it's installed in. Okay, so here is your windshield mount. I attach it to one of those little plastic adhesive discs. Makes it a little bit easier and more consistent in terms of a suction connection. Once you push it on there, you simply rotate the top portion of the body and it locks it in place, and you put the plug in. To plug the camera in, you simply connect it to the bottom port of the mount, and it will receive power directly from that plug from the top. So that's really convenient. It will power on the minute it receives power, and it will start charging the internal battery. Here's a close-up so you get to see kind of what the camera screen is going to look like. In the top left corner, you're going to see the interior camera, and the main body of the camera is going to be what you see sticking out the front. You can see here above my owl cam, I actually like the angle of the VanTrue where it mounts higher. The problem with the owl cam is that it's so low in the dash that you sometimes miss what's taking place directly over the hood. So now we're on the road, and I want to give you an opportunity to see what the camera output looks like while you're driving in different types of lighting conditions. So right now it's about 10 o'clock in the morning, and you get a pretty good opportunity to see how well everything is illuminated, what it looks like. But we're going to switch to a nighttime driving mode here. Not really night, but more like dusk. It was 8 p.m. The sun had pretty much just set, and I wanted to let you kind of see what it would look like as well in a lower light environment. I haven't had a chance to do a ton of testing with it yet. I definitely want to do some interior lighting and exterior lighting in different types of environments, but this gives you a pretty good idea of the quality. One thing I found is that the audio quality that it picks up from the interior is fantastic. It definitely is on par with what you would expect from like a GoPro or even from a smartphone, so I was very impressed with that. So to be honest with you guys, I've had pretty good success with VanTrue cameras. Down here in South Texas, cameras just don't hold up very well, especially in the hot sun. They tend to fail after about 6 months to a year. My T2 has lasted a pretty good amount of time in the heat without any major issues. Once you get out of the vehicle, you let it sit in a parking lot for a while, you really see the effect the heat has on these cameras. You get back in, you touch it, they're hot to the touch, and almost to a degree that you figure that they probably won't even start up. So just the fact that they stand up pretty well down here in South Texas means that they have a pretty decent product. Guys, if I have any issues with this camera, I will let you know. Please take a moment, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again very soon.